across the south coast, live from Solent University. You're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good afternoon, it's 4 o'clock. I'm Barney Page and here are your headlines. Tottenham Hotspur will be hoping to regain their lead at the top of the Premier League tonight with a victory over Fulham. However, they will be without key midfielder Yves Bissouma, who is suspended. Despite beating Tottenham in the League Cup this season, Fulham haven't beaten them in the league for nearly 10 years. I'm delighted to say we are now joined live outside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium by Jack Peskett. Jack, what's the general mood outside the ground?
It's a very mixed mood, Barney. Spurs have had the best start ever to a league season with 6 wins and 2 draws. The only other undefeated side currently is Arsenal. Postecoglou all week been saying how important it is to get the result. There's 2 London derbies in the space of 4 days, which is crossing a lot of fans' mind. Spurs already got a depleted squad. The fans are starting to fill into the pubs already out here. And, I don't know if you can hear, but there is some "Come on, you Spurs" chants in the background. And they have Fulham tonight and Crystal Palace on Friday. Will one of these teams prove to be a bump in the road?
A busy week for Tottenham Hotspur sees them play 2 London derbies in just 4 days. One against Fulham and one against Crystal Palace. Ange Postecoglou's men will be hoping to come away with maximum points and avoid a congestion charge. BBC London commentator Nick Godwin is unsure who will come out on top in tonight's fixture against Fulham.
I think it's a very mixed blessing, having these games in such a short period of time. They've managed to get their foreign players back and their England players back as well from their various international duties, but then the timetable has jammed in a game on a Friday as well. So if you ask me, it could go either way.
Spurs are only one of 2 sides in the Premier League not to lose this season, the other being local rivals Arsenal. Despite the unbeaten start, Postecoglou insists this is only the beginning of the journey.
We're in a great position in the league. I think that's reflective of, like I said, our performances so far, but it doesn't really sort of change the way, I'm thinking of kind of what we're trying to build here. I'm at pains to say we're still very much at the beginnings.
Fulham, on the other hand, have only lost 1 of their last 5 games, with the only defeat being a 2-0 loss to Chelsea. Ethan Robinson, who is a part of Fulham Focus, is quietly confident ahead of this evening's game and believes Spurs' squad depth could be exploited.
They haven't got that longevity in their squad. They haven't got the players to kind of rotate and still compete at that level. So that definitely brings me confidence in the fact that we could push them and potentially grab a point or 3. You never know.
If Tottenham avoid this potential pothole, it will see them go 2 points clear at the top of the table. Jack Peskett, Solent Sports News.
Jack Peskett outside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, thank you very much. Southampton will be hoping to continue on from their win against Hull with a tough test away at Preston. A last-minute winner from Ryan Fraser was enough for Saints to climb up to 5th in the Championship table. Southampton have conceded the joint most goals in the league this season and will be hoping for a clean sheet. Elsewhere, the women were defeated 1-0 by London City Lionesses. The loss means that they've dropped down to 2nd in the Championship. Saints will be hoping to bring back their title hopes when they play Sheffield United on Sunday. Aston Villa have moved within 1 point of the top 4 following their 4-1 thrashing of West Ham. A brace from Douglas Luiz and goals from Ollie Watkins and Leon Bailey were enough to continue the Villains' impressive start to the season. For manager Unai Emery, he wants more from his side.
Dreams always, because my dream is to win Champions League. We are now 5th and we are going to face each match trying to get again our good performances and the 3 points.
Tributes have come in from around the world following the death of Sir Bobby Charlton. Wreaths and flowers have been laid outside the front of the Manchester United legend's statue at Old Trafford. Current Red Devils boss Erik ten Hag says that Charlton set the standard at the football club.
A legend, a giant, not only for Manchester United, but for in Mondial football. His legacy were the standards, the high standards we have to live here every day.
Following the recent suspension of Ivan Toney, fellow Premier League footballer Sandro Tonali also faces betting allegations. Here's Josh Bellchamber with more.
Since the dawn of time, it gives us joy to speculate.
They say good things come to those who wait.
Same, Jim?
Come on, Rod, don't someone makes you angry. Those who cash out.
Comes to mind.
Will cash out.
Problem is, loyalty gets you nowhere. Live for rewards instead.
That's why I'm Paddy's Rewards Club ambassador. Thanks, Paddy.
Now as reward stuff. Loyalty is dead. Live for rewards. The world's favourite online sports betting company.
Professional footballers' betting is becoming a big problem, and one footballer is currently experiencing allegations. Sandro Tonali faces a potential lengthy suspension, as we hear from Newcastle manager Eddie Howe after Tonali played in their 4-0 win at home to Crystal Palace last Saturday.
I think he was normal Sandro. He's very level. Very rarely do you sort of outwardly see the emotion. But you know it's in there, but who knows what's ahead. And I think I just think it's great for him to know that he's got the support of not just the senior management of the football club and the manager, but he's also got the support of the supporters, and they're the most important people.
Is this a player that AC Milan have cashed out on? We asked the public what they think of professional footballers betting.
You know, I don't think they should be allowed to bet, because they all know each other and they can fix games remotely, so to speak.
You shouldn't be allowed to bet on games that you have a direct impact on, but if you're betting on something that you have no control over, then you should be able to place a bet, yeah.
In everybody's career, you always know somebody else in the same business. I know, it's across the board.
They themselves can obviously fix games, and I also think it's just dangerous because the amount of money they make, they just have literally unlimited money.
What's next for Sandro Tonali? Could he face an 8-month ban similar to Ivan Toney? Josh Belchamber here, reporting with Solent Sports News.
World Rugby has announced that they will investigate the use of discriminatory language following an incident in the World Cup. Tom Curry had accused Bongi Mbonambi of a racial slur during their 16-15 semi-final defeat to South Africa. If found guilty, Mbonambi could miss the World Cup final against New Zealand. All Blacks assistant coach Scott McLeod says Mbonambi is an influential figure for the defending champions.
If anything came of that for him, I'd imagine it'd be a massive dent for them. He's a leader of their team. When Sear goes off, then he becomes the captain. So I imagine that would really impact them, yeah.
Lewis Hamilton lost his second-place finish at the Austin Grand Prix on Sunday. The 7-time world champion was disqualified for having too much degradation in the floor of his car. Charles Leclerc also had his 6th-place finish taken away for the same incident. Elsewhere, Max Verstappen achieved the 50th win of his career, while British driver Lando Norris finished second in his 100th race. We are joined once more by our Formula 1 correspondent Barbara Lariso. Barbara, it was an impressive performance by Lando Norris this weekend. Will we see a win anytime soon?
To be honest, he's really promising. Yesterday was a good day for McLaren, since Norris managed to overtake Ferrari in the opening lap and lead the first part of the race. The car is so fast this year, and the team is working hard. He's happy with the final result and complimenting on both pit stops and strategies. It's actually the 12th podium for the driver, although he's so young, so we wait to see its performance in Mexico.
Barbara, thank you. In MotoGP, after 120 attempts, one man can say he has finally finally a Premier Class winner. Johann Zarco has won his first race in the sport following the Frenchman's win at the Australian Grand Prix last weekend. Leader Pecco Bagnaia has increased his lead at the top of the standings following his second-place finish at Melbourne. In cricket, England have called up bowler Bryden Carr to their World Cup side in India. Reece Topley fractures his finger fielding during Saturday's record-breaking defeat to South Africa. England's World Cup campaign has been disastrous so far, with 3 defeats in their first 4 games. Indian cricket legend Bisham Singh Bedi has died aged 77 after a prolonged illness. He made his debut against West Indies in 1966. Bedi, regarded as one of the world's finest spin bowlers, captained 22 of his 67 tests and took 266 wickets. We are once again joined by cricket correspondent Nikita. Nikita, how big of a player was Bedi?
He's very bigger player. He made his debut against West Indies in 1966 and played his last test against England at the Oval in 1979. Bedi also played English county cricket for North Hemisphere and finished his career with 1560 first-class wickets, the highest by any Indian bowler. Over a 12-year career, his best bowling performance came in 1969, when he picked up 7 wickets for 98 runs against Australia in Kolkata Test match that India lost.
And Nikita, we've currently got a test going on right now in Chennai. What's the current score?
It's 158, 1 wicket down, 27 over. Ibrahim Zardan is playing very well with 77 on 96 balls. Now we can see the Afghanistan chances are more to win. Let's see what will happen in the match.
Nikita, thank you. In the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles have continued their impressive start to the season with a 31-17 victory over the Miami Dolphins. Quarterback Jalen Hurst impressed again, throwing 2 touchdowns for 279 yards. The win now means that the Eagles have a 6-1 record, which is now the best in the league. It's all change at relegated Rugby League Super League side Wakefield Trinity. Head coach Mark Applegarth and his assistant Sean Long have left their roles. Trinity finished bottom of the table this season and dropped into the Championship. England got their 3-test game series against Tonga off to the perfect start. Despite a tough test from the Pacific Islanders, England held on to win 22-18 at St Helens, thanks to tries from Tom Johnston, Toby King and debutant Mikey Lewis. The series continues in Huddersfield on Saturday and finishes in Leeds the following weekend. After 25 years managing Sholing FC, Dave Diper is stepping down as manager. Here's Callum Kemp with more.
After 25 years, 1,210 games and 16 trophies, Dave Diper is leaving his position as manager of Sholing FC. Both Sholing and Hungerford Town provided a fitting guard of honour in recognition of his 25-year tenure.
Dave, we will get you to say some words, but the mic's not long enough, but I'm sure you've thanked everyone.
Dan Mason has scored 270 goals for Sholing under David Diper and looks back fondly on their time working together.
It's the only senior manager I've ever had, my whole football career has always been led by Dipes, and everything that I've achieved in football is thanks to Dipes as well. If anyone deserves a break and deserves to just relax and enjoy the other things in life, then it's definitely Dipes, because he's put his heart and soul into the club, and he's took it from just a small public park into a nice ground that we can be proud of in the Southern Prem, which is amazing considering, like I said, where we were when he first took over.
Cliff Pledge has covered Sholing for many years and speaks of David's special relationship with the press.
Always available before the game, after the game. At one point I was coming to report and he was going to build a scaffolding just for me to have a better view, which was incredible. So I found him to be a phenomenal person to work with in terms of the press, an absolute gentleman.
Paul Doswell will be taking over as head coach for Sholing for the foreseeable future.
And that's all from us for today. Remember, you can keep up to date on our website, solentjournalism.co.uk.
Callum Kemp, Solent Sports News.
And you can follow us on X and Instagram at Solent Sports J. Thanks for watching.
Across the South Coast,